going on, guys? Today I'm gonna start off a new video by going up to Steven's house. He lives about an hour north from me, and we're gonna check out a car that I'm gonna be using in an upcoming enduro race. I'm getting all packed up to go up there. We got some stuff to do on the car, and I'll catch you guys when I get there. All right, I just got to Steven's house. We're gonna flip the camera around and show you guys the car, and we're gonna show you guys a list of what we're doing to it. Here's Steven. You've probably seen his other car. This isn't even his car, is it? Whose car is this?
Nope, this belongs to a friend of mine.
This is a, what year is this?
This is a 2003 Ford Focus SVT. It has been run at Evergreen Speedway's Hornet and Stinger 8 divisions for the past couple of years. So if you're not familiar with that, Hornet and Stinger 8 are entry-level classes at Evergreen Speedway. They are basically just 4-cylinder shit boxes just like this that you rip everything out of, throw a roll cage in it, and basically go racing. Grab a helmet and go racing. So this one has been rode away and put a little wet, so we've come into possession of it, and I want to see how big of a fool Aaron can make of himself doing some wheel-to-wheel racing at an upcoming endurance race there at Evergreen Speedway in January. So we've got this thing in here, and we've gone through it, just kind of making sure it's safe, and the only embarrassment will be his driving and not the race car I gave him falling apart. What we've done is taken about 20 pounds of wiring out of the interior of this thing. That's just a small sample.
Yeah,
there was a ton of extra wiring in here that didn't need to be there. Harnesses that were running to the back, like for the tail lights and everything. So we went through and we did way too much work on customizing a standalone chassis harness. So now the thing just runs on switches, and it's basically got like an interior wire tuck at this point. You can't hardly see anything. So we cleaned up a few things, put some new safety equipment in it, got the inside all cleaned up. Then as far as the engine goes, all of the motor mounts were completely blown and were just shot. So it's got new motor mounts. There were copious oil leaks that we've addressed. But other than that, everything seems to be okay. There was a pinched PCV system that was causing the dipstick to shoot up out of the engine and creating a fun mess. So that's all addressed, that's all fixed. So we've got basic stuff to do to the engine today. Radiator hoses. I've got a new oil pan because it's got a big old dent on it. Then as far as the suspension goes, they don't let you modify a darn thing when it comes to a Hornet car. Stinger 8 cars, you could do a little bit of adjustable stuff like upper control arms and whatnot. But this one's totally stock springs, totally stock shocks. The only thing that we need to do here is put some brake pads on it. We had the rotors turned at a local place, and we're just gonna pad slap it, and it should be good to go. Other than that, we're gonna put the belts in it, make sure Aaron can fit in the seat with the belts on, and then it should be race ready.
Yeah, so this car, this is kind of just a random opportunity that came up, and I'm super excited to drive this car at Evergreen in a wheel-to-wheel environment. This thing, it's got a pretty serious cage in it. Damon is going to be doing a little bit of modification on the cage, working on that. There was some weird stuff going on with it, but we're just going to get this thing all ready, and we're going to get to work. I'm going to get the oil pan off this thing, probably do some coolant hoses while I'm in there, just because it's all in the same area, but we got a big list of stuff to do. Let's get after it. We're making some good progress on the Focus. We got a 4-corner brake job knocked out. New coolant tank installed. Working on some hoses. Steven's off getting some more stuff for the valve cover. We lost a couple bolts. I just slapped the new oil pan on down here. That one had a big ass dent in it. Damon's been cutting some stuff out of the car. He's eating a piece of pizza and putting in some new bracketry to go to this bar that goes across the body back here that we installed. Things are happening. I haven't been filming a ton because I have a very small SD card with me today. I left my 128 gig at home, so I'm running a 32, so can't film as much, but I think that I'll probably put some driving footage in this video too. So we're gonna keep working on it. We got a couple more things to do, like rear springs, wipers, foot box. I gotta get in the car and we're gonna fit the belts up, but we'll check in just a little bit. So we've been making some more progress on the car. Just got it fired up after doing the oil pan and all that. I have the strut out of it because 2 of the top hat bolts are snapped off. I just fixed that over there in the vise. Steven's trying to figure out why the throttle's hanging up, but we're getting there. It runs.
We don't plan on slowing down.
Yeah. We're getting her done tonight. Yeah, we're just checking everything out. Interior's almost done. The belts got routed and everything set up. We're gonna keep plugging away and hopefully we'll put it on the ground maybe tonight. We will see. So we're wrapping up for the day. We made big progress. We have 4 new brakes. We have engine that used to run but does not run anymore.
Whoops.
We have oil pan.
Details.
We have kicker bars finished. Got all sorts of stuff.
Well, what does the list say?
Yeah, the list.
We did the front brakes, we did the rear brakes, we did the PCV hose, we did the coolant tank, we did the radiator hoses, we did the valve cover, we changed the oil, we put the belts in. We put a new oil pan on it, obviously, spark plugs. We did the rear kicker bars, put a pedal foot box in it. So we just have some broken parts to repair. That's really about it.
Yep. We'll either pick up next time when we're back here working on it again, or maybe I'll cut to us at Evergreen like 2-3 weeks from now. We will see. All right, guys, we are back at Steven's house for round 2 of getting this Focus ready for the Enduro. We have an autocross day in 2 days to test the car out. We got a couple things to do, mainly get a steering column in the car. We decided that the column that was in the car currently was not adequate for what we needed. It had a lot of bind. We need to replace the throttle body, and we need to get some bushings in the rear sway bar, among other things. But right now we're getting the steering column all set up, and we're gonna get to work on this thing. So currently, Steven has cut off the stock column at the second U-joint. And we're cleaning it up. We're gonna weld a 3/4 inch piece of pipe into it. And then we have a bolt-on dash bar mount that'll mount it to the dash bar inside the car, and then we'll have a new quick release going on. Hopefully everything will be straight, everything will line up, and it'll work much better because it'll be a lot better supported rather than how it was previously. I don't know if I showed a ton of it, but it had some wonk to it and it would get stuck halfway through, so that's definitely not safe to be driving with. We're gonna put this thing all together. That's the most important part for today. So Damon got the new column mounted up in the car. We're just testing everything out, and we're going to set the depth of the wheel. The bind from the steering shaft U-joints is gone. Now that we've adjusted the height of the rear support of the column. And now we just got a little bit of figuring out to do, and we'll be all set, and we'll have a good, well set up steering for this thing. Wheel height might be a little high, but I think that it'll be manageable. So we're doing a little bit of back to the drawing board on this thing. Steven's cutting the bracket out of the steering column because we need to move the rearmost time joint down. I'm just going to go outside because it's loud, but the rearmost time joint needs to come down a little bit so we can get the angle on the column correct. But, oh yeah, Royel showed up too. He's driving this car also.
I also drove the car.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So here is what we came up with for our final steering column solution. We're still waiting on a couple collars to keep the thing from moving in and out while we're driving, but we need those before we can weld this guy on, and then we'll be all set. Still waiting on a couple things. Autocross is in 2 days, so hopefully they show up. If not, I guess we're going to be driving the Fit, but yeah, I think that's going to be it for now. Hopefully the next time you see us, we'll be out at Evergreen for an autocross test day, so stay tuned for that.